Once you've finished gluing this on and it's all dry, and you cut it out, what we want to do is we want to use the water. We're going to start rubbing it off now. So I'm just going to put it on, just let it soak in there for a little bit to start off with. Okay, we don't want to wet it too much, so I don't dunk it like right in there, because this will actually warp a little bit if we really wet it. Okay, now we can start it just like once it starts to soak in there, you'll be able to start rubbing it off with your fingers. So see how we got this here and it starts to come off? So I'm just going to get in there. Now the idea is we've got the wood, then we've got that medium stuff, then you've got the ink, and then you've got the paper. So basically you want to, if you rub it too much, there's a really fine layer of the ink, right? And the laser printer ink. If you rub too hard, you're going to rub it right off, right? And once we get down to like, you've got most of the paper off there, and it's starting to come off pretty well. What we can actually get, we'll get a bit of felt.
That's mine, Ned.
And I'm going to buff it, all right? So if I rub that now, we can get the last bits of that.
Yep, that's definitely.
See how we get that, it's like the gluey bit. So you got like bits of white. When that dries, it goes like really, really white. So down here, for example, you want to get rid of all that. So we've got to buff that off. You got to do it while it's kind of still a bit wet, otherwise it dries and it's really hard to get off. Can you see how it's like coming off there now? So I reckon just get in a little bit more with the water there. Get rid of all that. So guys, if you're rubbing your hand across, you still feel it's still got glue on there. So we've got to get it to it's like totally smooth. If you run your hand across it when it's wet and you still feel it rough, it's still not right. Keep buffing that a little bit more until we get it nice and smooth there. So that's a bit better. Let's get in there. Guys, once you've put your background back in the box there and it's fitting really well, you've got to make sure you've cut the top off here so that we can actually fit the lid in. Make sure you've actually drilled out these holes here and the flippers are actually fitting, and the pinball launcher is actually fitting really well. Then we can actually glue it together. Okay, so basically we'll just pull it all apart, making sure we cover all the surfaces really, really well with the glue, so you can get maximum contact area. Reassemble the job, making sure all the joints are all nice and neat, backing together again. And just let that to dry now, and then we can come back and fix it up.